everybody, I'm Miss Jane and I am here with Camp Monday Funday with SPL, and we are here to talk about archaeology. This is Archaeology Part 1, what to do with a dig site, and you'll join us next time for Archaeology Part 2, what to do with an artifact, and I'll show you what to do with all the great stuff that you find today. So if you picked up one of our kits, what you should have gotten inside is some sand, some artifacts, and a sifter kit right here with the sifter and the shovel, and you don't really need this part, it's just there's a bonus item. And you also received one of these dig journals, and I want you to start by putting your name right here. We also, what you're going to need to find on your own is you're going to need to find something to put the sand in. I've just got a clear plastic tub, and I recommend having something to sift your sand into to keep the sand contained. And if you don't have another tub, you can use a trash bag. You can cut the trash bag open and you can use it like a tarp. I definitely recommend having something to catch the sand in because it's kind of like glitter. It gets everywhere. It's very sneaky. This is also a great activity to do outside to cut down on that inside mess and to get your kids out of the house for a little bit. If you didn't pick up one of our kits, you can still follow along at home. I'm just using plain old sand from the hardware store, and you can use anything that you want as an artifact, because an artifact is anything that has been used by a human, touched by a person, or altered by a person. It can be a rock that you broke so that you could put it under a chair leg. It could be anything that you've modified or that someone has modified. You can use a toothbrush that you're tired of looking at because you probably don't want it back after the kids are done finding it in the sand. Anything, just use your imagination. And like I said, any sort of tub is good. And for a sifter, you can use a noodle strainer, you could use a piece of window screen, anything like that. All right, so who knows what archaeology is? Archaeology is the study of human past. So it's anything that has happened with people. And that can be prehistory, so that is anything before books, people started writing stuff down, or it can be anything that's happened since then. And some people think that archaeologists dig up dinosaurs, but that's paleontologists. Archaeologists only dig up people and things people have worked with or touched or lived or anything like that. And so today we are going to be archaeologists, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, archaeologists, let's get started. We're going to start by examining our dig site. So if you're doing this program outside, make sure you have everything you need. So you're going to want your hat if it's really bright out, you're going to want your sunblock, make sure you have some water nearby, and make sure you stay nice and cool. And so what we're going to start with is we're going to start by examining our dig site, because archaeology is a science, and so to do science you need lots of data, which is just information. And so first we're going to examine our dig site, and we're going to open our dig journals, and we're going to see it says step 1, observation. That just means looking at stuff. And so some sample questions. Are you inside or outside? What does the weather look like? What type of soil are you digging in? What does your dig site look like? Can you see anything interesting? And so I'm going to look right here at my dig site. And I can see right now that it looks like sand, and I can actually see some shiny stuff here. So I think that there might already be some artifacts in here. And so I'm going to get out my crayons, and I'm going to try to choose, let's see, I'm going to choose blue to draw the tub that everything is in. And I can see here that these sides are longer and these sides are shorter, so that I know that I have a rectangle. So I'm going to draw my rectangle. All right. And it looks like I have a lot of sand. So I'm going to take this yellow color because I think that looks like sand, but you can use whatever color you want. And I'm going to fill in my dig site. And I can actually see a couple artifacts in there. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to see, I can see this little bit of shiny stuff right here. And I'm going to draw that where I think it is in my dig site. And then I've also got something, a little bit of something in this top corner, so I want to make sure I know that that's there. And if you guys want to take it to the next level, you can get out the rulers included in your kits, and you can measure how long the sides are of your dig site so you know exactly how big it is, and you can write those numbers right next to the sides on the page. All right, so I'm gonna get out my ruler, and I've got it right here, and you should have one included in your kit. And if not, you can always print one. I'll include it in the PDF. And so let's see. I'm gonna say 8 inches by, oh no, my ruler's not long enough. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put my finger right here where the line ended, and I'm going to just stack it down. So I know that it's 10 inches plus 3 inches, so 13. So I'm going to say 13 inches by 8 inches. So I know exactly how big my dig site is. Next, we are going to look for our artifacts. So I'm just going to use a cup as my bucket so that I can transfer the sand from my dig site to my sifter. And the sifter is how you find your artifacts, because sometimes the artifacts can be really small. And when you're digging the site, you don't want to lose them. So you make sure you sift all of the dirt that you take out of the site to see if there's anything interesting inside. So let's get some of our sand. And we're gonna run it through the sifter like this. We're just gonna put it on top. And you can shake the sifter. Until all the sand goes through. And what you're left with are your artifacts. That was a pretty good dig. I have 2 artifacts here. I have a coin and what looks like a gem. Very exciting. So I'm gonna set my artifacts aside. And I'm gonna keep digging through my site because I wanna make sure I check all the sand because I don't wanna miss anything good. Sometimes you can have really small artifacts like beads, and you wanna make sure those don't get lost. So for example, I found some rocks in here, but these could very easily have been pretty glass beads and you wouldn't want them to get lost. Wow, guys, look at all the great stuff we found. Join us next time for Archaeology Part 2 to find out what to do with your artifacts. Make sure you hang on to them so that we can go over what to do with your artifact now that you've found them. Thank you.